Hey, what's up, folks? So in this one, we're going to be doing pound dollar. I figured I'd separate them just because some people trade euro dollar and others trade pound dollar. I only trade three currencies. That's euro dollar, pound dollar, and dollar CAD. If you guys want me to do dollar CAD analysis as well, just like how I do with this, go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know. Otherwise, for now, I'll just be doing euro dollar and pound dollar just because it does take a bit of a good little time just to upload these. Um, and anyways, this is ICT concepts, and I'm 100% a student of ICT. It has been a game changer ever since I came back to Forex. Now, keep in mind, ICT does mention do not trade Forex. I've been trading Forex just because when I got into the challenge, that's all they offer with my Forex funds. And when I finally started it, I figured, well, I had already purchased it. Why not just do Forex? The concepts still do work. However, ICT advises to not do Forex because of the low volatility in the markets. You can get moves, however, it's not an everyday. It's a lot slower now than if you were to do futures. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And now I will start with top-down analysis. Now, I use NinjaTrader for my trading platform. I've always liked NinjaTrader, and just because this is the premium package. I know a lot of people don't like it. However, as long as you're connected to a live server, I've noticed you do get better data than if you try to connect to like a demo server. You still have to refresh the reload historical data at least once or twice during the trading session, just to make sure you're getting correct feedback. And even then, I still have MT4 open, which is where I place trades, to make sure that the data is correct as well. So obviously, it's a bit of a tedious thing to do. I feel it's kind of like a mantra now. And anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So for the weekly chart, we have taken down sell side liquidity down here, and you can see the market starting to turn around. Obviously, I have a few levels in here where I figured the market would have gone into. Here's one area here. However, this isn't a weekly one. This is actually a daily, and you'll see it in just a moment. I thought the market was definitely going to take out this high here, and it didn't. It actually ended up using the daily, and so not much there to see on the weekly. So let's go back. Let's go into the daily here, and there you go. You can see the market came down. Here's that same area. Now, if you guys notice, what is this here? We took out sell side liquidity, took out buy side liquidity, fair value gap in here. And let me go ahead and grab my rectangle. Now I do have these color coded, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to color code this how I do it myself. Here's my pink one. And there you go. So what is this? This is the exact same strategy ICT teaches. So if you guys are watching this and you want to figure out how to know when the market's going to go the other way, this is one way to know. At least this is the easiest way to know when the market for sure will start to turn around and to look to rebalance or to take out stops, start going in the other direction in this case, right? It was going down, started going up, and then it went where? If you look at the daily, look left, you can see the market came in here to rebalance this particular area in here. And you can see this is what was holding the market, and so this level here was not going to get through right there. And so if we go back down into my lower time frames, let me just go ahead and minimize that. So that's my analysis for the daily. Let's go in here. You can see the market came down, came right back up, left this open here. I figured the market was not going to take this out, and it wasn't going to take this out either. And you can see right away, every high attempted, it would break lows, right? But every high attempted, like for example this higher high, And then this high, you can see it's just been making higher lows instead, right? And so it's a good indication market's going to head lower. That's how it did now. There was an opportunity on Friday, but I didn't take it just because the rebalance had already happened here for pound, and it did not happen for euro dollar. So that's the reason why I took euro dollar. And so anyways, let's go back down. Let's zoom in on this. So there's nothing here to look at on the 4 hour. If we go down to a 60 minute, you can see the market. Here's my color coding here. The market came in here, rebalanced in here, and then it shot straight. It shot even higher. This was around 6 a.m. My time, so that's near the stock market open. And so you can see the market used this green block here. You draw lines and down in time. That's how ITC says the market's going down. It'll use the green blocks as what we call support and resistance. Now, if I'm saying that wrong, definitely go ahead and correct me. Otherwise, I know how I understand it. And so it also took out sell side liquidity. Buy side liquidity here. We go to a 15-minute chart. Here's where it rebalanced. Now I can always make this smaller here because the rebalance was here on the 60-minute. Took out the buy side liquidity here. It went up. This was the green candle on the 60-minute, right? This particular line. Now, how I know I have these lines, these green lines drawn in here. If you guys are asking, well, what is that? Well, these are my time zones areas where, for example, here's my London session. So this is the highest level of this London session in, for this particular area. And so this is why I have this line here. I'm also looking for confirmation. This is actually intraday for London session. And so if market gets up there, I want to see that. Even though it just got here to intraday, that's good too, because I have more narrative to back it up. And so that's what ICT always mentions. Make sure you have a narrative to back it up as to why you're going to take a trade. And so looking at this in here, you can see, let me actually change this to the 50% right there, just so you guys can see that. There was a little area in here where I was actually looking for the market so this can get up there, and it just didn't reach for it right there. And so even though we're at the 50% level, I did not want to get, well, number one, I wanted this area, and then number two, this is already around 8:45, so this is like around almost 12 p.m. Eastern time. I don't trade at all. There was some news at around, what was it, I believe 11 Eastern time, and I figured why not wait a little bit. I figured maybe that would have gotten the market to push higher, and it didn't. It just it stopped right there, right at 50. It continued lower. It created a fair value gap right here on the 15-minute time frame. Actually, if you look at there's nothing on the 60. So this one created a fair value gap here on the on the 15-minute time frame, and then you can see this. Obviously, this was taken out here, and then it stopped right there, and it continued lower. So once again, if we go to the 5-minute, I was waiting for something up in here. And once again, right, we get back to the whole fractal part, that the same entry techniques that ICT teaches in his mentorship, that's exactly what you're looking for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen in here. So this is what I mean by me being conservative. That's just me and my own entry rules and how I found it to be comfortable. As ICT teaches, I know he mentioned you can go ahead and enter in at the fair value gap whenever you get it. In this case, it did not happen. Now, if you look at my euro dollar analysis, it actually did get in there by just a little bit, but it just wasn't the right fair value gap that I wanted it to get up into. So mine's is that it has to at least get to the 50% or higher into the fair value gap. That's my entry technique. I do have one more specific entry technique that I like to add, especially for Forex and especially for pound dollar, just because the pound dollar can be very nasty. I know it's a little bit weirder currency, and it moves a lot more weirder, and sometimes it just moves a lot harder than euro dollar, which is its counterpart. And so anyways, going back to the whole fair value gap, you can see there it is right there. It got to the 50% area, came down, went back up into this area, and it came down. Now this is already New York closing time. We look at a 2-minute. You can actually see at the New York closing time, there is displacement right there, right in here, and that also could have been a trade. But once again, I'm not active here at this point. My focus is out the window. I can't stay focused on this for no more than at least 2 to 3 hours. I've tried pushing it at least 4 hours, but I just can't. So I've accepted my loan limitations, and maybe with time, a little bit more time, I'll get better at it. But until then, this is pretty much it. And like I said, right, if this would have came up in here, maybe a little bit higher, just like how it did in here, and then given that particular entry, that would have been perfect for me, and that would have been more than enough to write it down, and this would have been my target down in here. Yeah. And so you can see target would have been down here. Oops, that's not the one that I wanted. I wanted my arrow. Target would have been down here, and you can see that's actually, if you look at this part here, we extend that out in time right near. It's not obviously close to the pit, but you can see that's where the price should rebalance. Came right back up to rebalance in here, and then continue lower. So it's crazy how ICT concepts, people are saying that it doesn't work, and as I trade this on a daily basis, it's just crazy to see that it does. And so anyways, for those of you that are watching this, make sure you watch the ICT mentorship. This is going to help you. And while I make my own market replays of what happened, what I was looking at, and I continue to making my weekly updates for the for my Forex Funds trading challenge. Hopefully you guys find this helpful. Go ahead and like and comment. Like I said, if you guys want to see the dollar CAD analysis, that would be, definitely drop a comment. Anyways, until then, I'll see you later, guys.